Welcome back to another video, guys. It's your boy Vibrant Fred. So I know I promised you guys a live stream today, but due to the weather, there's guys working on the street, working on the power lines out here. It's messing with the internet connection, it's messing with the signal. Um, and unfortunately, the audio is becoming an issue. Okay. And I feel like this information is vital, and I don't want any hiccups in the audio. Because the last couple live streams I've done, the audio has been kind of spotty. Today was better. Because I'm home, but the last couple of days I was at my girl's crib, and the audio is not as great. I mean, the Wi-Fi is not as great, which they're also working on the lines over there too. And there's the weather. It's a lot of shit that's going into it. All right. So because of that, I'm just gonna go ahead and record this and leave it at that and post it and allow you guys to see it because this is information that you guys need to see and hear. All right. So before we get into today's video, make sure you guys join. There's a join button right here, right? There's a join button on my videos on my channel. All right, support the cause, purchase a badge, and help your boy out. All right, you get cool perks and benefits, access members only sections to the YouTube. So I'm gonna start doing live streams and posting videos and stuff for members only. So join that. I believe it's a very reasonable price per month. I think I'm gonna lower it down some too. I gotta figure out how to do it because last time I checked, I couldn't change the price. It kind of just locked it in. But I'm gonna figure out how to change the price and lower it down. But I think it's around $7 a month or something like that. But I only need it to be like $3 or $4 or some shit. So make sure you guys support that. I think I have a couple people that's in it right now. But anyways, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. All right. Now, I'm gonna paint the picture of what's going on so you guys understand. So, what you need to understand is that the feminism in Brazil is it's strong, right? You guys have seen it, and a lot of the times you guys need to understand that feminism in Brazil and feminism in the United States are two complete different people. All right. When you see the stats and it says 51% of Brazil is feminist, you have to break down, okay, what do you mean by feminist? Because we know the feminists in the United States, they are not the same feminists that are in Brazil. If I would have to explain it as far as Brazil's feminists, do you have some that are extremely aggressive? Yes, in Brazil. But for the most part, the feminists here are more so just for equality, and they just want women to have the equal rights and be respected. Um, and it's just like women's empowerment, right? I feel like feminism in the United States is more like some feminazis, where it's like I don't need a man for anything, um, and it's like hardcore. It's like hardcore, bro. I heard this term one time. It was like it's kind of like you have lesbian, and by the way, no disrespect to anybody that's in the LGBTQ, right? But you have I think he phrased it something like you have lesbian and then you have hardcore. So where it gets to the point now in the United States, they're trying to find ways to create babies without men at all. So you got different levels to the feminism, and I think it's not the same the way they use the same word, but it's different. It's different um, characteristics behind it. So this girl Stephanie, a lot of people got a lot of names for her, so I'm gonna be respectful and call her by her name, Stephanie. She got a lot to say about Austin. She got a lot to say about Americans. She got a lot to say about Europeans. She got a lot to say about people coming to Brazil, whether they be living, visiting, whatever the case. She got a lot to say about that. All right. What we're gonna do is we're gonna pull up we're gonna pull up one of her. We're gonna do this right here. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna pull up one of her posts. All right. We're gonna go to one of her posts and read her posts. Let's go read this one right here. And this one, and I thought this was extremely interesting, right? I thought this was extremely interesting. What we're gonna do is we're gonna make this easy for y'all because a lot of y'all don't read Portuguese, so we're gonna translate this whole thing, all right? And for the people who can't read, I'm gonna read it for you. Unfortunately, in Rio de Janeiro, in the middle of Carnival, I went through experience that explicitly involved the culture of sex tourism. First of all, before we even get into this, I want to sit here and say, what is sexual tourism? Because guys traveling to Brazil or Africa or London or United States or anywhere in the world, right? If you're a man that likes women and you're going to X place and you just so happen to go on dates and just so happen to have sex, and you're touring this country, right? You're touring, you're leaving your residence wherever you're from, you're going to a different place. You're a tourist. So if you have sex in this process, are you a sex tourist? So let's ask the question, because she don't live in Brazil no more, right? So when women travel to other places, and they're going on dates and guys are doing this for them, and if they have sex with this guy, are they sexual tourists? Because that happens more times than not, right? Anyways, let's keep this going. um, I was walking along the beach and I was in a fluid midi dress, whatever the fuck that is, and a foreigner approached me with jokes and laughter. Now, I'm gonna just say this, bro. When you were in Brazil, I ain't met no Americans that come here and they frowning and pissed off and upset. Every American I've ever met, every foreigner I've ever met, every Brazilian I've ever met is always full of laughter, jokes, and happiness. That is the stupidest fucking definition that you can put in a post. A foreigner approached me with jokes and laughter. I mean, would it have been better if he had addressed you with an attitude and calling you a bitch and talking shit to you? I don't get that at all. But anyways, I speak of my clothes to refute the idea that sexual harassment happens to women in sexy clothes or bikinis. Time out. Rio de Janeiro is a beach culture. So to see a woman in beach attire is not uncommon. So you're gonna see women in sexy clothes and bikinis all the time. And I literally just made a video talking about if you see women that just flaunting around in bikinis that don't have on, I told y'all how to approach them. Don't don't look for a good girl if that's the case. Anyways, let's continue. Then as he left the hotel that was in Leme, men, aka also foreigners, in the lobby began to laugh and say hi with laughter. So they could have been having a whole conversation with this other foreigner, and they see him, they like, "Hey, what's up?" And one of them probably just said, um, "Hello, beautiful. How are you?" Whatever the case, right? But because they said hi with laughter, with happiness, because they're in a fucking their own vacation, she took it as, "Oh, they're sexualizing me." And then she says, "You see, we are going through a context after a president and administration in which they encourage sexual tourism. I don't know anybody that is encouraging men to come here for sex only. And what president did this? Anyways, we're not going to get into politics. Just as happened in the dictatorship in 1960s and 80s, the visa for Americans is no longer required for entry to enter Brazil, as many are heading constantly and mainly to Rio and Salvador. So I see where she's going with this. She works with the media, bruh. Y'all need to understand she works with the media. She's a journalist. She's obviously certified on Instagram, Twitter accounts. She's in direct contact with huge pages, huge accounts, CNN, all these big places, right? And This is back in February 24, the 24th of February, right? During the time of Carnival, way before we knew visas was gonna be an issue. And all of a sudden now visas is an issue. She trying to make it seem as if because Americans don't need visas, it's just easy for them to come over here. But ma'am, before Bolsonaro was the president, the previous presidents required visas. I mean, you ask any of the old school cats that been coming to Brazil back in the 80s, the 90s, you needed a visa. Even the early 2000s, you needed a visa to come to Brazil. Anyway, I digress. The visa for Americans is no longer required for entry to Brazil, and many are heading to Rio and Salvador. Even famous men are supposedly coming to our country because they quote unquote love our culture, but are seen approaching women at beaches, parties, and events. So let me get this right. You can come to Brazil, but you cannot interact with the women. This girl is out of her damn mind, bro. Um, what you go to the beach parties and events? Are you not allowed to do that? I mean, are we? I mean, no offense, but are we only supposed to go to gay bars? Are we only supposed to? Are we only supposed to hang around with American men or foreign men and Brazilian men? I don't know. I mean, I'm concerned at this point. Are they trying to ostracize us? I don't know. I don't get it. I'm trying to figure that out. Anyways, they she pretty much saying we behind smoke and mirrors. Oh, they love our country. They love our culture, but they're only going to beach parties and events. Okay. Some are still being guided by Brazilians who hire to take the men for quote unquote fun. I don't know one Brazilian man for anybody that I've known that they hire a Brazilian to show them around where all the fun spots are. I don't know how true that is, which basically comes down to engaging sexually with Brazilian women. Let me say something, and I'm about to stand on this shit, and I personally don't give a shit who it offends. Put a one in the chat put a one in the chat and put a two in the chat. Hang on, don't type yet. Who is known for sexual tourism more, Europeans or Americans? Put a one for Europeans, put a two for Americans. Let's just be honest, bro. A lot of Americans when they go to country, they're not engaging that much or if at all in sexual in the true definition of sexual tourism. I would say there's more Europeans and white skinned gringos and foreigners that engage in a lot of sexual things that can be said and probably should be left behind closed doors overseas more than black Americans traveling, bro. I've always said I'm gonna keep this shit 100. I'm always gonna keep this shit 100. But there's more white gringos that's engaging in shit in Brazil more than black Americans. I'm gonna just say that. But they can do whatever the hell they want to do. But when black guys come here, it's a problem. All right. So I'm gonna continue. I'm not gonna stay on that subject because we can go on a whole subject about that shit. So approaching women at beaches, parties, and clubs, being guided by Brazilians for fun, which basically comes down to engaging in sexual acts with Brazilian women, with a focus even for us black women. Be careful. Some of these men approach women filming their bodies, faces to post on channels or even closed groups for other men. Some of these men are hiding cameras in hotels to film women in sexual acts. Some of these men are having sex without condoms with several women. So is that the man's fault that they having sex without condoms or the woman's fault? Or is it equal? Because if a woman says no, first of all, I don't know. I've never heard of any rape from foreigners and Brazilians ever. Because if a girl says no, cool, go to the next person, bro. It ain't that you're not gonna sit here and try to fight and rape some girl in Brazil when there's millions of people that you can interact with. Why the fuck would you do that? So if it's anybody's fault that people are laying down having sex, y'all want to say my body, my choice. You're making a choice to sit here and let somebody penetrate you without protection. So don't sit here and try to blame the men for having sex without condoms. All right, let's continue. Some are even some are leaving a trail of destruction and disrespect by taking advantage of the idea that they can do anything in a country with a global with with wait anything in a country in the global south. So they think we could just do anything in South America. Please be careful. If you are approached on the street, hotels, or parties with jokes by men in a duo, which is a pair, or a group, dodge and get to a safe place. If this is not the most bullshit that I've ever heard, bro. So what it seems like, again, bro, there's a lot of people who listen to this chick. And what it seems like they are trying to do is if they find out that you're an American or people approach Americans or foreigners approach a Brazilian on the street, run for cover. It's not safe. Go to your local authorities. That's how this shit is gonna. That's how this shit is gonna be going, bro. Right? I mean, are y'all following along? It's bullshit. The fact that all Americans are fucking monsters, and if they approach you in the street, beware and run and get to a safe place, as if we like some fucking pedophiles and monsters and murderers and shit. If they ask to film you, ask for what purpose and what kind of YouTube channel they have. And if you're having sex, avoid being in their environment, or in make sure that in scarf boxes, ceiling lamps, and other objects there are no filming devices. What the fuck is this, James Bond? I mean, come on, bro. I'm gonna be honest. This don't sound like shit that black men would do. I'm just gonna say that. Niggas ain't doing this. Niggas is not hiding hiding cameras in scarves, boxes, closets, ceiling fans, lamps, air vents, teddy bears. Niggas ain't doing that shit, bro. If you come to my crib, we about to have our fun. I'm gonna call your Uber and you gonna go home. But the fact that they try to make this shit out to be heuristic and they should be on their P's and Q's when seeing Americans and all this type of shit is just bullshit. All right. So we're going to get off that. Now, I was approached the other day by a Brazilian and she completely wanted to be anonymous. At first, I thought it was just somebody trolling because it's a fake account. All right. Um, and as you see right here, I got the screenshots to prove it. All right. Let's get this shit off my screen. Um, Now, she is a Brazilian. She does not want to be identified. She tried to ask me to alter her voice, but it's difficult. I'm gonna have to edit it and try to do something to it, but it's kind of difficult. Which nobody's probably gonna know her about her voice. But I said, look, I wanted to get her on an interview on a live, so everybody can interact with her, ask questions. She speaks very good English. So we just gonna rock with this. She watches my content. She watches Austin content. She watches a lot of Passport Bro shit. So she is born and raised in Brazil. She lives here. All right. So, but she does not want to be associated with any of that. And she's about to give us a lot of information from the inside of this world. All right. And it's about me. It's about Austin. It's about you guys coming here, safety, what to do, what not to do, all shit like that. So we're gonna listen to it and we're gonna get right in. Sorry, she's just like, "Hey Fred, good afternoon. I saw your YouTube channel, and as a Brazilian woman, I think I can help you help your subscribers." And I said, with a fake profile on Instagram, and this is what her response was.
I am so sorry about my English, but I think I can help you. I hope I.
All right,
I
so we're
am so
back.
sorry about my English, but I think I can help you. I hope I can help you so you don't mess up like your colleague did it.
So she was referring to Austin at this point. She's saying she wants to help me because she didn't want to see me make the same mistake as Austin did. So I'm going back because at first I'm like, I don't know. This seems like a AI robot. The audio sounds a little bit too perfect. So I said, you have a fake profile. So she responds,
Of course, I have a fake profile. I just created. I don't want to show up because it's not a good thing for girls and helping on those things, you know? Everybody knows what you guys are doing here or what you want to do here before you find a wife.
so she's saying that now that when she said this, I was kind of taken aback. And I was like, what do you mean y'all know what guys are doing here before y'all find wives? And so I'm just like, I'm not sure what you mean by you guys. Not every person who comes here is only interested in women. So her response,
I just want to help. If you don't want my help, it's okay. But I think you guys don't understand very well the Brazilian culture. And you do not understand how Brazil is divided. You know, I read a lot of comments in your YouTube channel, and everybody wants something, but we have places to find those things, and it's not on the capital for most of the guys.
so then I say, but if men want to visit Brazil and also date women, I don't see what the problem is. All right. And her response,
And that's the point. What your colleague did it's just talk about woman, but
so she's saying that all Austin did was talk about women. So let's continue.
we don't see a lot of channels talking about our culture.
She's saying that we don't see a lot of channels talking about the culture, but if you literally look at a lot of YouTube, bro, when I literally typed in Salvador for the first time, all I seen was culture stuff. That's all I seen. So I don't know how true that is.
So that's the biggest point. Talk about our culture.
People always refer as, why don't you show food? Why don't you show culture? Why don't you show statues and all this? There's already people doing it. And if that's not my thing, why would I show that? Right? People ask me all the time, like, if I just so happen to be there and it's in one of my videos, cool. But I'm not gonna dedicate an entire video specifically for a monument place or whatever the case. It's just not my thing. There's a lot of videos about the culture here in Brazil. A lot of them. They just don't get looked at by a lot of people.
A lot of girls here are seeing your channels, and I did a university, and a lot of girls are worried about it, you know? I'm just here to help. If you want my help, it's okay. But one thing I can tell you is talk a lot of more about culture, you know? Beyond parties and all those things.
So she's pretty much, oops, I didn't mean to like that. She's pretty much saying that we need to stop talking about women and talk more about the culture. So I told her, I said, I talk about culture and how to find good women. I have a great woman. Of course, guys want to see entertaining things. It's YouTube. They have many channels who talk about culture and food, etc. You know this, right? But not everybody wants to see this every day. People want to see beaches and fun things. And her response,
Yes, and that's the point. I don't see a problem either. You guys came here, have a good time helping girls with having a good time either, and help us in economy, and that's a very good point. It's not a problem, but the question is a lot of girls are talking about it, and it's not great, but it's not what I'm here to tell you. I'm just here to tell you that has a lot of parts in Brazil where you can have a great time and find a great girls. And not you. I know you have a girlfriend. I saw the video when you are buying rings. That's so cute. But that's not the point. The point is if you want to help your guys, has other ways to help them.
so now she's about to explain Now she's about to explain how guys can find good girls and what to do, right? But she's not talking about me, apparently. She's talking about everybody else, and she's about to give everybody else game and insight. So I've said I made videos about beaches, where to get the best drinks, how to look for apartments and furniture, how to find good women, how to live in Brazil, how to be safe, parties, many good videos. If you've been around for any amount of time, you know that I've put out how to find good women in Brazil, what not to do, what to do, how to get apartments, how to do this, how to do that, how to be protected, how to be safe, so on and so forth. So for any, not I'm not saying her, and I know you're watching. I'm not saying you, but if anybody sits here and ever says I'm not helping people be safe, I'm not helping people move correctly, is completely lying, bro. Because I've made many videos teaching guys how to be safe, treat the women with respect, so on and so forth, right? Anyways, so I said, okay, how should I help them? I'm listening. I'll make a video about it, which I'm doing right now. So here we go.
You know, and first of all, I am so grateful for seeing you guys talking about Bahia, then the state that I live. And it's amazing because when everybody talks about Brazil, it's just real and everybody forgets about us.
So she's talking about how every time people come to Brazil, they talk about Brazil. Brazil is brought up. The only people they really talk about is Rio de Janeiro. So she's happy the fact that we're talking about Bahia because Bahia is like left out a lot of the times in these discussions. It's either Sao Paulo or Rio.
And has other states too. Has Minas, has the south of Brazil, has a lot of places. And I just I'm just here to tell you something. If you want to help your guys to came here and have a great time and all those things, it's amazing that you're showing our state. It's wonderful. But has a lot of other things. Like I read on your comments. If you want to help your guys to find wives, the interior of the state is the best part of that, you know? First of all, you have to come here, have a great.
So she's saying she's agreeing to what I recently just said in both of my videos. If you want to find good women, if you want to find women that's going to be worth settling down with or potentially marrying, you need to get away from the areas that are normally pursued, like Copacabana, Salvador. If you're in Salvador, Baja, Rio Vermelho, you need to get away from those areas and go more to the interior in that state, all right, or within those cities. You need to go further in, um, and you'll find good women there. Are those women gonna be just on? Are you gonna have hookups there too? Possibly, but you have a better chance of finding serious relationships and people that you might want to settle down with and look for long term connections with. Um, Probably stronger there than around Baja, Copacabana, Baja de Tajuca. I can never say that shit. Lapa, Ipanema, shit like that. All right, let's continue.
Great time, enjoy the culture. But for wives,
So I agree with what she was saying.
it's what I'm trying to talk to you. It's the interior of the state. All the states, the interior is the best part to find a partner for long term. That's why I'm here with a white flag. I'm not trying to, you know, being tough or I don't know, do some weird shit like the feminists did. I am not this kind of woman. I'm just here to help you. Just relax. I'm just here to help you.
So she giving some good advice so far. It's solid. I mean, a lot of it is things I've already said to you guys, but let's keep going.
So the major reason I create a fake account is because I studied a few things and I don't want to show up, you know? I don't know you and I don't know if you will, I don't know, put my image in your groups or your Telegram groups or anything like that. I just want to help you, you know? I am not here to saying bad things or being a crazy feminist and will, I don't know, messed up everything. It's not my point.
So at this point, I'm asking her because I mean, I was kind of hesitant about talking to her at first, but as the conversation's moving on, I'm like, okay, is there any way we could do a live stream together? Because this would be good content and good information to do a live interaction, and you guys ask her questions, so on and so forth. So I'm explaining to her I would never expose you like that. I would never. You can remain anonymous. You don't have to show your face, your name, none of that, right? So um, she's not really up for it, right? And so I'm pretty much asking her to use the audio, and she's cool with that.
And I really understand why you are so worried about it when I came to talk to you because of Austin. But you don't have to worry. I'm just here to help you. If you have any doubts, if you want to talk about anything, like the feminist situation that you posted, uh, a notice that you posted on your YouTube channel. That's a
So now she's about to go into the feminist post that I talked about, the 51%, right? She's about to give her input on that.
very interesting situation that I want to talk to you. It's that feminist article that you posted. Oh, guy, how can I tell you that we are not feminist? Seriously, uh, Brazilian women don't understand the feminism the way the new Americans understand. For us it's a completely different situation. It's not the same thing. You can read something that an American write about us and understand it's the same thing. It's not. It's I promise you it's not.
So she pretty much agreed with what I said about the feminists being different here versus in the States. So I agree. I would have to agree. Let's keep going.
So I study law and psychology, and I can guarantee you that we don't have the same thoughts about feminism. In São Paulo and Rio, maybe, but Bahia and the interiors, no, we don't have the same. We are not. It's not even close. That's the that's that's how we start. It's not even close. For a Brazilian woman, feminism is just receive the same salary and all those things. But if you tell a woman, a Brazilian woman, do you want to stay at home, take care of your kids? She was like, oh, that's not the point. Because that's the point for us. It's not fighting and all those things. That's crazy shit. Then you do that. We will never do it here.
All right. So
And that's the biggest point for I don't want to show up because woman here doesn't understand feminism. And if I can say in that, the few ones that understand will kill me. Oh my god, I was so fucked up. Then I don't want to risk anything. No.
So she is afraid of showing her face or being a part of it, defending it. Um, that's a problem, bro. That's where we gotta stop. YouTube creators. You guys need to get more women from Brazil to back this shit, bro. Because if not, if everybody just sitting back and if you let this chick keep posting these articles, the shit is only she has more power than none of us. She has way more power than us if none of us do anything. And if everybody just sitting back, letting this chick post whatever the fuck she want to post, ain't nobody taking this chick to court. Ain't nobody suing this chick. She's smearing everybody's name if you're a foreigner coming to Brazil, because she's only trying to fuck up your experience when you come here, having everybody look at you like you're a fucking criminal. So if nobody is doing anything, all you guys coming to Brazil, 15 years, 10 years, 2 years, 1 year, all this shit, and you're not posting, even if you're not a YouTube creator, you need to fucking make an account and just, or if you watch a guy, if you watch me, if you watch Austin, you watch Dennis John Pierre, um, you watch whoever, Barber World TV, you guys need to send your clips to them, to us, so we can post it and share it of your experience. I'm gonna start highlighting guys that come here, have a good time, they meet cool girls, and they're vibing, right? And they not looked at as fucking criminals, because that's the only way we're gonna be able to attack this thing to save our fucking face. Because otherwise, this chick just gonna keep running with this narrative. She got the news on her side. She got the government on her side. It's only gonna get worse if none of us do shit about it. If I'm lying, then tell me. But if you agree with that shit, put a one in the chat. All right. Um. So I say yes, but you showing up, no one will see your name, blah blah blah. So I'm pretty much still trying to convince her to do it. But I see she's not, so I'm gonna respect her. I'm gonna respect her. Because I feel like a Brazilian woman saying this is more powerful than me saying it. So I'm just like, yo, your voice is a lot more powerful than mine when it comes to this aspect, because you live here, you're from here, and you could agree. So I feel like hers would have been a little bit more powerful. But you guys, her audio is still saying it, so it's her saying it. All right, so let's continue.
We can see that. We can see that.
So
We can see that. But
she's possibly wanting to get on at some point. Not now, but maybe down the line, she's cool with it.
it's a first contact. I don't, you know, I will study this more. And I think the Latin woman in general don't those things to tell you about more about what Brazilian women understand about feminism. Then it's a completely different thing. And I think the Latin woman in general don't eat that bullshit. So maybe in the future, as we say.
So she's pretty much still not on board 100%. And I'm telling her, like, yo, I mean, because this shit is our livelihood, right? And again, I feel like more women who disagree with this, because there is a lot of them that disagree with what this girl, what this feminist is saying about us, because they meet us on a regular basis. She don't live in Brazil. She don't see this shit that's going on. She see one thing and run with it. Um, but these women see us on a regular basis, and they like, damn, these dudes are cool as hell. They laughing, they smiling. We're going on dates. Dylan picking them up and kissing them and making them melt. Is and these chicks is having a good time. Nobody's complaining. So we need to start as content creators, starting having these girls sit down and debunk this shit. Because again, if not, it's just gonna keep running and running and running, and everybody gonna sit back and watch, and everybody gonna get hit by a fucking train. So I'm telling her, like, yo, I understand you want to do the whole future thing, but the future could be too late. Um, so if you come to my channel, we can discuss it. So she's still doing that whole thing, right? So she started saying, like, your girlfriend can help you with this. She would know better than me. But I'm like, my girl agrees with me, but my girl is also in my videos, and me and you speaking in English, going back and forth on a live stream is a lot more powerful than me and my girl talking, because my girl is gonna agree with me, duh. But I don't know you. You feel me? So yeah. So, anyways, let's see.
Oh no, I don't live in interior. Not anymore. I will.
So yeah, I don't want to play that because I don't want to expose her location.
So that's why I can talk about the interior, and I can talk about the capital, and I can talk about a lot of things.
So yeah, she is from the interior, but she doesn't live there anymore. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna keep going.
It's okay. We can see that situation later to talk for me to talk to your subscribers. We can discuss this later. I just want to tell you then you should talk about this, Even if I don't talk, you should talk about this. It's because a lot of guys don't understand that Brazil, it's so big and it's so different when we talk about culture and all those things. And when we are finding a long-term wife or wife material. The interior is the best place, but before you go there, you have to go to the capital and you have to understand Portuguese because the interior, most of the
I've been saying this for so long. If you're going to the capital areas, like you're going to Sao Paulo, you're only staying around the hot spots. You're going to Rio, you're only staying by the hot spots. When you come to Bahia, you're only staying in Salvador. But once you leave outside of them zones, bro, your Portuguese gotta be on point. Really and truly, when you leave Rio and Sao Paulo, and you come to Salvador, you gotta be on point. Especially once you get outside Baja, Rio Vermelho, Ongina, you ain't getting by with English, bro. And you going to other states in Brazil that are definitely not frequent, you're gonna need Portuguese, bro. And that's what she's saying right now. But again, I've been saying this.
interiors, a lot of girls don't talk shit about English. They
There's no any English.
To be honest, I feel a little bit guilty about what happened to Austin because
So now she's gonna get in talking about Austin, and I think it's interesting this whole thing. So let's listen.
I sent a message to him in the time, just at the beginning, and then I delete that message because
So apparently she reached out to Austin before all that shit happened. And then she deleted it.
I don't wanna be a part of this. And then all that shit happens, and I was just talking this to him, you know? He goes a little bit too far. Things that you don't have to say on the internet, you know? Just
So apparently she says Austin went too far with what he was saying and certain shit he should have just left off of the internet.
say for your friends in particular. And I feel a little bit guilty about it. And all that shit happened. So I'm here just to tell you the same thing I should did a month.
So she reached out to Austin and deleted it. So now she feels guilty because all that shit hit the fan and maybe it could have been avoided if she would have just let the message go through. Um so now she's like, okay, this is my second opportunity. I'm gonna try to, but let's be clear, me and Austin don't make the same content. And even when he was here, we made similar content, but our messages are completely different. And the way we approach with our words are completely different. The way we articulate the shit is completely different. So a lot of people was concerned, and you had people saying I set Austin up, fucking ignorant as hell. And it's just like uh we just put things, we paint the picture differently, but it's the same picture. But some people receive it one way, some people receive it another way. And a lot of people received his message in a negative light. But we was posting similar shit, asking the similar questions. But it's little words and little things that people added to it from the words he chose, and it just escalated from there. Um, and you had a lot of people that said that as well. So let's continue.
I deleted the message because, first of all, I was using my real account, and second of all, I thought he was a little bit childish, so I was a little bit afraid for myself, so I deleted. But now I'm here to do the right thing.
So apparently she assumed, well, she made a fake account to talk to me, but the account with him, she uh she used her real account so he could have saw her face, everything, right? But she deleted it because of that, and she also felt that Austin was childish. People ask my opinion about it. I don't have an opinion about it, but there's people that was saying it. But that's how she felt about it. You know, I can't I can't tell her how she felt. That's how she felt, so she deleted it, and now she regrets deleting it because it caused a fucking shitstorm.
I really
Not because she deleted it. It's not like she could have changed it, but um, I again, this goes back to the message of Brazilian women that are cool need to start reaching out to guys who are coming here, whether they make content or not. They need to be in these guys' ear, helping them and navigate. Because it's sad, but guys will listen to women sometimes more than they will listen to their brother, and it's just a sad reality, and that's just the way it is, bro.
Saw the storm coming and was a little bit scared, but it's just a ameaça. I don't know how to tell this in English, but it's safe for him to come back now. Nobody will kill him. Oh my.
So she's saying it's safe for Austin to come back to Brazil. No one's gonna kill him because he was getting death threats on Twitter, and none of them were truly death threats. It was just saying, "I hope you catch a bullet to the head." That's not really a death threat. When I think death threat, I think someone saying like, "When I see you, this is what's gonna happen." Right? I don't know what all he received, but I know that one message he sent and he posted was not really a threat. It was just hoping that something would happen to him.
My god, he really thought he would be murdered for us? I
So, um, I was like, I think he was just afraid, just because Austin's young, and to receive any type of uh malicious intent messages or some shit like that will be concerning, whether you are young or old. So you can't not just brush the shit under a rug at all. So I get it and I understand that. And me and Austin talked about it, and it was like, hey, I feel you on that. So if you want, I don't think nothing's gonna happen to you, bro. Especially not behind feminists and shit. That's just whoever, because Twitter is just people who make fake accounts and just talk shit. I told him that I don't think nobody's gonna do shit to him to cause him any harm like that. But you know, every man has to make his own decision, and I respect his decision for it.
So it's okay. I I think that's just what I want to tell you. I hope you and your girlfriend have a very great time. You both are a very beautiful couple, and I hope you are happy, and you both are happy. I hope your subscribers have came here and have a great time. Salvador is a very beautiful place. It's very safe. At the contrary, as everybody thinks, has a very beautiful city. We have a amazing culture, and that's it. That's it. I'm here to clarify anything you wanted, answer of any question, and that's it. That's it. I hope you guys have a great.
So I think that was pretty much it for that
Yes,
case.
no one would do that. First of all, that woman, it's from
So now she's explaining that about the people that was threatening to kill Austin or whatever the case. So she's explaining that now. Let's go back.
Rio. He was here in Bahia. It's
So she's saying that that girl lives in Rio. He lived in Bahia.
that far. It's really far. Brazil, it's so large. Then countries in Europe, it's more near than states in Brazil. So anything will happen to him. Second of all, the situation was quite cold now, and let's be honest, he was a little bit passive. You know,
So she's she's saying that the situation is dead down, is cold, is over with, and he was a little passive. I don't know what she means by passive, so let's see what she means by passive.
just saying a lot too much, but it's okay. And that's just he's a gringo. Pelo amor de Jesus Cristo. O homem, he's from US. No one will kill a gringo here. You know?
So no one's gonna kill a gringo, and I agree. Um, it's you don't hear about gringos getting killed in Brazil. For one, I mean maybe Colombia and other places like that, but in Brazil you don't. When was the last time you heard of a gringo getting killed here? Because when a foreigner, when an American gets killed in Brazil, bro. First of all, you need to understand the relationship between America and I mean United States and Brazil. When the United States, when a United States citizen is something happens to them as AKA murdered, you know how much shit storm that would cause in Brazil, and they know it too. That's why you don't hear about shit happening to Americans here. I mean, you might hear shit about. I mean, the only time I've heard about a foreigner getting killed was an Argentinian, but that's another South American country coming to Brazil. It's still horrific and terrible, right? It was a guy at the beach with his family. Somebody wanted his phone, the Argentinian's phone, and then they robbed him and killed him and just stabbed him right there on the beach in front of his family. But that can happen. But I've also told you guys, do not go to the beach at nighttime. So once the sun starts setting, you need to go ahead and get up out of there, bro. You don't need to be staying and stargazing and doing all that shit. Go home. All right. But you don't hear about Americans anything like that happening, like the shit in Mexico. You don't hear about shit like that. Because they know it's gonna bring too much. It's gonna bring too much heat to their favelas or their neighborhoods or their comunidades, or it's just gonna be too much pressure put on that shit. So this is exactly what I told Austin. But again, you have a Brazilian that's saying, bro, I've talked to many Brazilians, guys that's in the street. And like, bro, ain't nobody gonna do shit to him, bro. No real street dude is gonna be on the internet. That's one thing I can say about Brazilian is when it comes to shit like that, they don't talk what they gonna do. They just gonna do what they need to do off the internet. They don't do all that internet talking shit like the United States. So none of these street guys that had an issue with anything, in my opinion, and other Brazilian people that I've talked to would have done anything to Austin when it comes to a feminist posting something about men coming here to have sex. They have way bigger issues and problems with other people here that they have to deal with, bro. Other than Austin having sex or telling people to come here to have sex.
So I will take care of my life now,
So
and
she's pretty much saying that she was gonna do her thing and all that, blah 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 blah, right? I was on this post. I was saying that this girl post on CNN and Global and all this shit. These are big pages.
yeah,
So
but that's what happened when you messed up with the mainstream. And
so she's saying that's what happens when you mess up the mainstream, the agenda.
she is a part of the mainstream. But if he wants to come just to live his life, have a great time, don't record content and all those things, it's okay. I don't
So she's saying if he wants to come back to Brazil, enjoy his time, record content, it's cool.
think that's a problem. And he can he can come back step by step, you know? Just came first, see what happens. Uh, call to the ambassador.
She said Austin needs to call the embassy, the ambassador, make sure everything's good with him because of this whole investigation, quote unquote. Make sure it's still good for him. Which she's given sound advice to check in with the government first, to make sure shit's good, and ain't shit gonna happen to him.
See if everything is clean. You know, just don't show up like that. Just
She's saying just don't show up and and not check in with the authorities. Like you need to do it properly, which I agree there would be a better way to do it versus just buying a flight and just popping back up in the street.
be sure, and then come.
Because I'm gonna say this, bro, money talks, and Brazil is one of those places, which a lot of places in South America is. If you paying the right people, you're gonna be protected, bro, and ain't nobody gonna touch you, and you're already American, so money talks. Um, Unfortunately, they do have that type of shit that goes on here, but money talks, and I think she's giving very very great advice. If Austin does come back, he needs to talk to some people and pay some people, and he will be all right, bro.
And come back to record his content with a different point of view, you know, We have to agree that Austin was a little bit too far with his content.
She said we have to agree that Austin went a little too far with the content that he makes. I mean, some people agree on that, some people don't. I'm I'm kind of in the middle. I don't make content trying to convince anybody to do shit and the whole red pill thing. I might have my moments where I'm just like, bro, stop dating these American women, but I'm not gonna keep hounding on American women because we know American women, they don't we know what they about, bro. Like I don't we don't need to keep saying it, but we know what they about. So I just post content. I let my content talk for the results. All right.
That's what's happened. And if he come back talking just about culture and then start to talk about dating just to his community, it's everything okay.
So she's
And
saying that he needs to, it would be smart for him if he does come back to move a little different with the content, like he's doing in Vietnam, like he's doing in Thailand, like he did in Philippines, just showing cultural shit. It might soften the blow a little bit, and then get into like dating and doing shit like that. It might revive the situation, or it might clean his name up a little bit, so it doesn't look like he's just promoting whatever, which we know he wasn't. But to them, they look like he's just promoting people coming here and just having sex with Brazilians and leaving.
come back to record his content. I understand he lives here. I completely understand. He's afraid. He lives. He just don't want to come back. But go to Thailand? That far? We have Colombia, Argentina, Bolivia. Man, that's so dramatic. I completely understand.
She said it's so dramatic. Austin went all the way to Thailand. He skipped over Colombia, all Argentina, all these South American places. Um, and a lot of people say Austin didn't look happy out there. I thought he looked happy. I mean, shit, he looked happy to me. But I know for a fact, deep down inside, he missed Brazil for sure. And if you're gonna be in South America, you damn sure want to be where you want to be. And for him, I knew for a fact it was Brazil, bro. But she was saying he should just stop making content for a while. I was like, this nigga not gonna stop making no content. I don't give a fuck what it is. He Austin will take bad publicity and turn that shit into subscribers before he stopped making content completely. Come on now.
Hey, good afternoon. I just watched your last video.
So yeah, so she pretty much that's pretty much that. This was today. Let me double check real quick.
Was a great one, and I have a
Yeah, so she was talking about the video I did with 11 tips of dating. So guys, all in all, that's some good insight. She's pretty much saying, guys that's coming here, you don't have shit to worry about. But I gave my advice on what men should do that's coming here and that are not content creators. If you're having a good time, reach out to the person that you're subscribed to and start sending them your receipts in video form, and photos, preferably videos, so they can add them into the video. You know what I'm saying, with audio, and just and showing real life examples, bro. Because if nobody does shit, it just sits back. This chick is gonna continue to write articles, bro, because she owns to something right now. This is a big ass fucking thing. This shit hitting CNN. This shit hitting global. This shit hitting every major platform in Brazil. I was literally at my girl house the other day eating and just chilling. And this nigga's face pops up on the fucking video. And I'm just like, yo, what the hell? It pops up on the news. I'm like, I thought that shit was done. And it just resurfaced. Bro, we gotta get on this shit ASAP. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even consider myself a passport bro. I never did. But at this point, it don't even have shit to do with passport bro or non-passport bro. This shit has to do with everybody as a collective, that you are an American, you're a foreigner, you're a European, like you in this shit, regardless of what you think, the way she posting these articles. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not from here, you are the enemy. So you need to get on this shit and I think she gave really good advice, man. So we're gonna get about this video. We've been going for an hour, so guys, I appreciate every last one of you for joining in, and comment down below. You know what I'm saying? If you made it this part of the video, which I hope a lot of you guys did, comment down below and let me know what you guys think about this whole situation, what you think about this article, and if you want to join my Telegram group, join my Telegram group and send your videos. The link will be in the description. Send me your videos. I think what I'm gonna start doing every week is highlighting guys down here having a good time and treating women with respect and women cooperating with them and just getting the real life interaction that Brazilians have with Americans and Brazilians have with Europeans. So I've seen it. I've been showing you guys this shit on my videos. And I think that's why I don't get shit about my videos because of the way I move and the way I show things. So if you guys enjoyed this, man, make sure you guys leave a like, comment, subscribe, send this to somebody else that could use it. All right. And we'll catch you guys in the next video.